Hello, folks. Let's briefly speak about the month of October. If you prefer to read about it, I've also posted on my website. Let's get into this. So what's happening in October? Well, the eclipses are out of the way. You may still feel the effects of those eclipses, especially when we see another planet going over the same degrees, right? In Pisces and Virgo. It can trigger an impact for at least 3 months, sometimes longer. So, November. First of all, I want to wish everyone a happy, prosperous Diwali to those who are celebrating. In fact, this is the first event of November. On November 1st, we embark on a new moon in the month of Kartik. New moon occurs in Swati around 15 degrees of Libra. Right? Every time we have this particular new moon, when the moon is the darkest, is when we celebrate Diwali. The moon is the darkest, the sun is debilitated. There's deeper layers, deeper meanings to that, but we're not going to get into that today. Venus is second from this new moon, situated in Scorpio. Venus being the ruling planet of Libra, so we have to see that. So focus maybe on money. So focus definitely maybe on family at this time. The only aspect this new moon receives is one from a debilitated Mars. Simmering emotions can come to the surface at this time, especially if you're dealing with home and property matters. And anyway, when a lot of family members are getting together, that quite often happens anyway. So take caution. If you are dealing with home issues, property issues, take a second opinion. With so much emphasis at this time on water signs, it can be an emotional time for some people. Mars entered Cancer on October 21st, but it's going to stay a long time, right? Because of its upcoming retrograde cycle in December. Mars will return to Gemini on January 21st of 2025. I've actually made a separate video on this. I'm gonna soon upload that video. But one thing to understand, just because a planet is debilitated, it doesn't necessarily make it weak. It may mean that perhaps people are acting unethically, taking shortcuts, acting with low character, right? Self-serving motives. Health issues can also crop up when a planet is debilitated. So if, for example, Mars is your Lagna Lord, be watchful there. If it's traveling your first house, like it is like for Cancer, then be watchful there, right? Mars is, however, in its friend's sign, right? And unlike Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Cancer brings creature comforts, right? It brings opportunities to make money. If you are in a disagreement with others, you may be tempted to take shortcuts and go around the rules at this time for victory. Yeah, but remember, this Mars is going to go retrograde. And that's going to go back into Gemini, and then it's going to go back into Cancer. So don't think that whatever you're dealing with is over yet. Yeah. Mars in Cancer is creating good yogas, though, for some signs, like for Cancer, for Virgo, for Aquarius. Venus makes its move into Sagittarius on November 7th to stay till December the 2nd. This is an excellent transit for Venus as it receives no malefic aspects. It's making a Parivartan Yoga at this time with Jupiter. It will give boost to education matters. If you are learning a new subject, now you can see some progress. It will give boost to travel and to money matters, right? Due to its Parivartan with Jupiter sitting in Taurus. So what else? We have another full moon in Aries, like we did in October. This month, the full moon is taking place on November the 15th, again aspected by Saturn, and this time it's in Kritika instead of Ashwini. On the last degree of Aries, actually, in Kritika. Whereas last month it was in the first degree of Aries. Aries being so highlighted indicates new chapters trying to give birth now. There are ideas, there are plans, there are big plans, there are big goals. But somehow the timing isn't quite there, but it will be. And this full moon is actually an omen for that. Right? Last month we could have seen some delays and obstacles, but at the same day that we have this full moon, on November 15th, Saturn goes direct. Right? So these obstacles can now be removed. And you can just go. And anyway, like, you know, if you have like strong Aries energy, you want to zip through things. Like, you don't want to just, you get frustrated and troubled. But again, your ruling planet is debilitated. So you may not get all the information yet. When Mars goes retrograde in December, you will get some brilliant ideas. And that would be the time to start to kind of putting them into action. Yeah. Saturn has been traveling 11th from Aries for a couple of years now. Well, not exactly a couple of years, a little bit less. But this is an excellent transit to forge ahead with new paths, right? You're getting the green signal now. New paths, new goals, new directions, new chapters. Next day on November 16th, we have Sun moving into Scorpio. Scorpio is the most activated sign, right, since May, with all the slow-moving planets aspecting Scorpio. Sun here, of course, gets the aspect of Saturn, Jupiter, and Rahu. So you will again see some changes in the house where Scorpio falls for you. It could be where you have wanted to see some changes. Like, certainly if you've been trying to change your life direction or your life path, this is the time with the Sun there. Put your energy out there. Put your intentions out there. Take some action. Sun here makes a trine to its dispositor and friend Mars, sitting in Cancer. Sun will stay in Scorpio till December the 15th. So what else do we have? This month we have a Mercury retrograde starting on November the 25th in Scorpio. Scorpio gets further empowered, right, as Mercury will linger here for a few weeks. Mercury goes direct in Scorpio on December 15th, the same day that the Sun will leave Scorpio. So whatever you're working on connected to Scorpio will need some revisions and rethinking. However, by mid-December, you'll have a more firm idea on how to proceed. And actually, you will be able to proceed. Mercury leaves Scorpio on January the 4th. That's all for now, folks. All the best. Cheers.